Hello, dear listeners. This is Storytime once again. A little while earlier, I saw a book on birds, and immediately my mind was teleported back to my village days. In fact, in my childhood, my younger brother Ausim and I used to fight over the possession of birds. Now, this is quite weird because, birds are the creatures of nature, they fly across the sky. They are independent species, but still, my brother and I used to fight over the possession of the birds. In other words, I would say that okay, the bird which is on the branch of the tree is mine. My younger brother Oshim would say, no, it's mine. So actually, we said that I am the owner. He said he was the owner, and immediately we actually got into a brawl. We used to do some fist fight, and later on, as we went back to our parents, we would get some beating because our parents were no nonsense. They had no nonsense attitude towards our childlike stupidity. How can we say that certain birds are mine and certain birds are his? But the point is, we had a kind of communion, a kind of relationship with nature. This is how we used to view nature, which is close to our heart, which is part of our life. There were so many birds back in our childhood. I used to say that the orchard, the garden, the jungle places, the bush areas of my village, they were full of birds. I used to wake up early in the morning to give some of them a chase. I remember there was a tiny little bird who built a nest on a short plant. It was actually a small tree. So I wanted to catch it. Waking up early in the morning, I used to sneak up behind the bird which was taking rest in its nest. But unfortunately, I couldn't catch it. And one day, what happened is, I just grabbed the tail of the bird and it flew away. Its feathers were in my hand. I felt so guilty. Still today, if I have a chance, I would seek apology from the bird. But that is not going to happen. Anyway, and during the monsoon, we used to see that there were hundreds of herons who came to our house because in our house there was a huge bamboo orchard. So the herons came in numbers to build their nests, and they used to actually, create a lot of noise. We actually were disgusted, disturbed, because due to the droppings of the birds, our house looked like a white house. And it was so smelly and stinky and odorous that it was a nuisance altogether. However, we did not harm the birds because we thought birds are our guests. So, as responsible hosts, we should not harm the birds, our guests. But nowadays, bamboos and few are far between in our house because we cleared them all. Almost all of them are cleared. Now there are no birds, there are no herons who would come to our house. Now there are many reasons why this happened. One thing is, in my observation, we simply cut off all the native trees, all the wild trees which are of no value, except that they give us some, uh, oh, wood fuels, or maybe some branches, some twigs, nothing else. So we cut them off. Instead, We planted many fruit giving trees, many wood giving trees, and in the process, the entire ecosystem of our house was compromised. Because the native trees, the indigenous trees, are integral part of the life of birds and other insects who live around those trees. But as we wiped them off, we brought into their place some foreign trees like mahogany and others. They actually do not accommodate the birds because the birds find the trees kind of alien. Again, the use of insecticide, the use of fertilizer, chemical fertilizer, they were another disturbing element in our village. That's why there's a huge drop in the number of birds. Plus, new houses are being built and new construction works are happening. Every single day, the space for the birds to live are getting squeezed, getting shrunken. Now, see, so in our childhood, we innocently fought over the possession of birds, me and my brother. But as I grew up, I saw that, as I experienced, I saw that there are hardly any birds flying in my village. So when occasionally I come across some birds, I feel elated, I feel exuberant. But unfortunately, over the years, the bird population has decreased in size. So that is a huge loss. And if we do not care for our nature, I don't know how many days Bangladesh will be called a land of birds. It is such pathetic experience. So, in my part, I would like to do something so that birds increase. They are once again, in my village. So, I have a plan that I am not going to share now. So, friends, do something for our non human brothers and sisters, birds, insects, and other living entities. We have to save the nature, save the environment. Otherwise, it is not just the extinction of one species or another, but it is also a huge crisis for our ecosystem. So, hopefully, you will play your part, you will chip in with your own contribution to save birds, to save nature. Thank you so much for listening. I will come up with another story in a few days' time. Thank you.